Hello, Africa. You're welcome to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices Show. This is the show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. How have you been? I want to believe it's been good. And even if it hasn't, well, as we always say, try and put up the can-do attitude, which is going to take you through the rest of the week. And whatever it is, don't worry, be happy, because sadness is not going to change the situation anyway. You need to do something to be able to change your situation, okay? And as usual, WCW will always remind you that it's Women Crush Wednesday, and if there's this particular woman or lady or sister that you really want to appreciate, it's not over yet, okay? It's until 12 midnight, so please take out your phone, send a WhatsApp message, give a call to this person, and let the person know how much you appreciate her. All right? This show is always brought to you by very responsible brands that I always love to appreciate. First on the list is Chana Shito. Chana Shito is Ghana's #1 pepper sauce, and if you've not tried it, look, you're losing out. And this is Christmas season. New Year is coming. There's a lot of gifting going on. I think, or I suggest, that you get Chana Shito. And any home you present a Chana Shito will definitely be very happy, because, see, the packaging is on point and the Shito itself tastes really good. We've got the mild variant and the very hot and spicy variant. Okay, so let your cooking go with Chana Shito so that people would enjoy whatever it is you present to them. Their phone number is right now at the base of your screen. I mentioned earlier, or in weeks past, that you could also add it to your side hustle. It's really moving. It moves. Once people see it, they are endeared to it and they will buy. Okay, so look out for the number and call Chana Shito. We've also got Lizzie's tomato mix that is making every jollof taste good. It doesn't matter if it's Nigerian, Senegalese, Ghanaian, wherever the rice is coming from, Lizzie's tomato mix is the mix that is going to make you have that taste you're looking for. And from the staple of the same Lizzie's tomato mix is Leap tomato mix as well. So you need to be asking for either Leap or Lizzie's tomato mix. If you find either of these, definitely there's going to be a revolution in your cooking, especially if that cooking has got anything to do with tomatoes. And my hair has been put together by Awo's Hair. You can find her on Instagram and on Facebook at Awo's Hair. If you want a home service, she can sort you out with that. All right. So Awo also caters for women who just put to bed. You know, when you give birth and you feel like your hair's not looking really good and you want something to be done to it, she can come and sort you out. If you want a wig cap that you'll be changing because people are going to be visiting you and you wouldn't want them to keep seeing the same style on you, she can make several of them at very good rates so that you can be presentable to all the visitors. And oh, my dress, I am loving it. Already she's introduced me to Christmas. You know, red is synonymous with Christmas, and our Afariwa style says, wow, to introduce Christmas, why don't you wear this very lovely red attire? And sincerely speaking, I love it. It's really nice. You can locate Afariwa styles at Teshinungwa at the Rasta Road, okay, at the container bus stop. You could also find her number and give her a call. And I always say that what I like about Afariwa Styles is the fact that she's into contemporary ladies and gents outfits. So once you walk in, you walk out with what fits. This is not the time where people begin to disappoint you and tell you stories about how there was no light and there was so much work to be done. Nothing like that at all. However, if you got fabric and you want them to also put it together for you, they can sort you out as well. So please, this Christmas, go to Afariwa Styles. They've also gotten gift vouchers for you to gift people with so that they can make the choices that they would prefer when it comes to outfits that they'll be putting on. So before I get into the show, I would like to link you up to the 60 seconds update segment where we tell you what's happening with women here in Ghana, across Africa, and the entire world. Just stay tuned.
The Member of Parliament for Domi Kobenya constituency, Sarah Joasafu, who also doubles as the Minister of Gender and Social Protection, has reportedly been given an ultimatum to resume her work as the Minister of Face being axed. The minister, who became the center of impersonation following the surprise appearance in Parliament when the NPP needed their member to help approve the 2022 budget, has failed to return to work despite having arrived in the nation more than 2 weeks ago. With her constant failure to return to work, she has been given the last deadline to go to work or face being fired from a ministerial position. The transition to a green economy is expected to create many new jobs around the world, including sub-Saharan Africa. But will the economic transformation offer women access to high-paying, more stable jobs? According to a new report released by UN Women and the African Development Bank, the short answer is yes, but only if countries adopt strong enabling policies and programs. The report, titled Green Jobs for Women in Africa, points out that women are well positioned to benefit from primary level jobs that will be created, but not higher paying jobs in the renewable energy, infrastructure, or transportation sectors. This is in spite of the critical role African. The Member of Parliament for Dome-Kobrenya constituency, Sarah Adwoa Safo, who also doubles as the Minister of Gender and Social Protection, has reportedly been given an ultimatum to resume her work as the Minister of Face being axed. The minister, who became the center of impersonation following the surprise appearance in Parliament when the NPP needed their member to help approve the 2022 budget, has failed to return to work despite having arrived in the nation more than 2 weeks ago. With her constant failure to return to work, she has been given the last deadline to go to work or face being fired from a ministerial position. The transition to a green economy is expected to create many new jobs around the world, including sub-Saharan Africa. But will the economic transformation offer women access to high-paying, more stable jobs? According to a new report released by UN Women and the African Development Bank, the short answer is yes, but only if countries adopt strong enabling policies and programs. The report, titled Green Jobs for Women in Africa, points out that women are well positioned to benefit from primary level jobs that will be created, but not higher paying jobs in the renewable energy, infrastructure, or transportation sectors. This is in spite of the critical role African women play in the economy and in managing climate change in their communities. Budding Ghanaian filmmaker and director Kuko Eshen has released a new film, Unveiling, powerful documentary on rape. The documentary, directed by Kuko Eshen, was inspired by two women's decision to be vulnerable with each other. It was also produced by Pene Diata Hoga and Kuko Eshen. The film will be showing in the museum till March 6th, has works of the famous Pablo Picasso and celebrated Ghanaian artist El Anachui. The documentary is part of an exhibition by Ghanaian author and filmmaker Nana Oforiatta Enyim when she created Efie. The museum as home at the Dortmunder U Culture Center. Speaking during the film's private screening, Kuko expressed her gratitude to the German officials in charge of culture and arts in the Dortmund area.
And you are welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. It's time for us to introduce you to our guest. Well, she is a very familiar face. A lot of us know her already. And there was a lot of excitement when I posted today that we were going to be talking to her. So at the point where we open the phone lines, I'd like you to engage with her and say what it is you love about the shows that she's been producing, okay? Let's make her feel at home here at ETV Studios and with African Women's Voices show. We are very friendly people and we are happy to have her. So ladies and gentlemen, join me as I make welcome Mrs. Julia Appiah. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eunice.
All right.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, that's fine. I'm happy that you're actually saying that you're happy that I'm having you. I am happy to have you as well. And I'd like to let our viewers know that, well, I actually did some kind of research on you. I may be telling them some things that they already know, but I think I need to point it out so that they get to know that the person who is seated here is somebody who has an understanding of content creation. So when we talk about what is put out on TV, she is not a baby in that space at all. So a little bit of it is the fact that she is a professional member of various groups. Okay, she's been in the Producers Guild, where she was the vice president. She's committee member of the Accra Beer Festival in 2010, and she was a member of the Producers Guild of Ghana from 2010 till now. So let's look at Revel Films and TV School. She is a co-founder. And it says here that in Ghana, there's only one state institution, National Film and Television Institute, that's NAFTI, that teaches film and television production. And as such, there's always a case of courses being oversubscribed during admission time. Thus, Revel Film and TV School was set up to primarily create jobs and opportunities for young people who are eager to enter the film industry and create employment for themselves. To improve the quality of film, this is where my emphasis is, the quality of film and television graduates in the country, to increase the country's effective human resource. So when they're actually educating people to understand what it means to be a content creator, that should tell you that the kind of content they produce at Revel Films is one that everybody would like to associate with. She's also been the head of content for Metro TV in the past, and she's currently now the managing director of Revel Film and TV studio. And it's not over yet, it's still on. She's also had hotel management experience in Ghana and overseas. And her educational qualification is that she's got a master's in business administration from a university in the UK, Suffolk University, a diploma, University of East London Business School in the UK, CTHCM diploma, West London College UK, and she's got her O-levels from Achimota School here in Ghana. You know what I'm saying? And the TV products that have actually come through her is a medical drama series for Mnet.
That's actually new.
It's actually a very new one.
It's not out yet.
You know, okay, so we look out for it. And then she's produced 13 episodes of TV reality for Frightel and Enriching Lives in 2020. She produced 26 episodes of the following TV series: Takeover in 2018, Home Sweet Home, Next Generation 2018, Maggie Star Cook in 2017, Dirty Pretty Secrets in 2015, Osophagus Kingdom 2014, Crystal Bay in 2013, Life, that's National Insurance Commission in 2011, Hotel St. James from 2004 to 2006, Home Sweet Home, that was the first one that we all knew, from 2003 to 2012. And she's produced feature films like Elmina, Ejepade, Fire for Fire, Run Baby Run, you know, the one that everybody really loved. And corporate videos that she's done are for Fan Milk, Talk Tax, Standard Chartered Bank, training videos, Barclays, Tigo, Nestle, Wilma Ghana Consumer Sampling, Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. She's worked for them. Achimota School documentary, of course. I mean, you used to be a student there. It's your alma mater. And then for commercials, she's done some for Busia Beach Resort, Elmina Beach Resort, Richester Hotel, Tobinco's Folly Grove, Tobinco's Gripe Water, Christmas Fiesta. Wow. And she's an award winner. A lot of her products have actually won award, and we really celebrate you, Julia Appiah.
Thank you so much.
We do celebrate you.
Thank you.
So today we are going to be talking to you and to our viewers. We're going to be having a discussion around family entertainment. You know, our values. How are we enriching it through TV? Now you find a lot of children, you know, when it's family times, like daddy is on the phone, everybody's on the phone doing something else. The children are maybe looking at videos on YouTube, you know, and mom is also checking out maybe some cooking thing. So like, we no longer have this time where we have one particular program on air and everyone is watching and is happy and we are talking and we are having fun and we are relating it to things that have happened with us. We are no longer having those times. Home Sweet Home gave that to us. And when it ended, it really worried us. So we are very happy that Next Generation is in. And for that reason, we wanted to say, okay, now that you are back, let's take a look at what the landscape, what the terrain is all about now, you know, and what we feel is that family entertainment is moving towards, you know, the back shelf, and we don't like it at all. So for that reason, we want to discuss the influence, you know, of shows like Home Sweet Home, you know, on society. So what did you actually seek to gain or to tell society when you started initially with Home Sweet Home?
Thank you for having me once again. To do with Home Sweet Home, you'd be amazed at how it started. We were watching TV. My husband and I were watching TV in London.
Okay.
And it was My Wife and Kids. So we're like, oh, this is an interesting program. Because we had young growing kids at the time. This was 2002, 2001, 2002. So we're like, oh, this is interesting. This is a program around the family. And you have the mom, the dad, you have the kids. And they fight. But at the end of the day, they make up before they go to bed. So we're thinking, if we were to go to Ghana to start, we would want a show like this. So that is how it started. With My Wife and Kids. We're thinking, why can't we have a Ghanaian version of My Wife and Kids? So that's how it started. You know, and at the time it was like, okay, we're going to be going back home. So what about Home Sweet Home? So that's how Home Sweet Home, you know, was birthed. It was purely based on creating something wholesome that you could watch with your kids, you know.
Yeah.
That because it's really entertaining. Have you seen My Wife and Kids at all? It's the American show with the wine and yes. It's really funny. You have the kids being naughty and doing all sorts of things, but at the end of the day, they resolve their issues, and it's just beautiful. So that is how Home Sweet Home came about.
Okay, so I like what you are mentioning around My Wife and Kids. It means that they were impacting society with their story, with their content, and they were shaping, you know, the mindset of people who were watching. You see kids being naughty, you see issues being raised in the family, but they always resolve it, you know, at the end of the day. So that brings us back to family values.
Exactly.
Let's take a look at family values. What would you say is family values?
When you talk about family values, it's very personal. As a person, for me as a Christian, love is key.
Okay.
You know, to bring up your children or have your family, deal with them with love. Whatever it is, I'm not saying don't reprimand them, but once love is key, everything is perfect. So as the Bible says, love your neighbor
as yourself.
So you realize that for me, with family values, is mainly love and treating everybody fairly. You know, giving everybody a chance, not picking on anybody. And even when you need to discipline, do it in such a way that the child sees what you're trying to do in love. There's no need to be harsh. So you realize that with Home Sweet Home, when we started, the critics were like, oh, do Ghanaians live like this? You know, Mami we de say no kasa chia ni kunu, you know, kind of thing. But you see, that's what we're trying to promote. We're trying to promote values that gave everybody a voice. That even as a child, you see Nina, you see Jessica, you know, Junior, as naughty as he was, you know, was still handled with a lot of love. So that is what we try to bring to the show. You would also find that the mom was a lawyer, so she was out of the house most of the time. So you find the dad doing a lot of the chores, a lot of the looking after of the children and things like that. We wanted to flip it because society here, especially in Africa and Ghana, it's like, oh, the man goes to work, the woman sits at home, she does all the cooking. So we're very intentional in choosing the kind of cast in Kojo Datsun and in Ramabru because we felt that they could bring, you know, the flip of the typical African or say Ghanaian setting of a family. So it was very intentional.
Okay.
Very, very intentional.
Awesome. Now that you mentioned Kojo Datsun, maybe we should just observe a moment of silence in honor of the departed. Okay. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Amen.
Amen.
All right. So, now I understand. So, from what you're saying, family values, you are looking at love.
Yes.
And obviously, if there's love in a family, you know, as a value that is imbibed in children, it to get them to respect people, respect themselves, know how to control their emotions as well. Because if you love someone, you're not going to talk to the person anyhow. You won't be harsh, like you mentioned.
Exactly.
So when there's love, respect will happen.
Right.
You know, and then communication will be better. People will be able to express themselves, and in love, they'll resolve their issues.
Exactly.
So these are the values that somehow everyone ought to be able to imbibe with their children, and it will keep growing.
Exactly.
So with the TV shows, we'll be enforcing these values.
Right, because you find that with kids, every child is different. You can't actually treat all children as the same. And you realize that when you treat them with respect, they are not afraid to tell you anything. You know, they feel like, oh, they can confide in you. With my kids, there's nothing they can't talk to me about, because in a way, our lives have mirrored the show. Should I say the show mirrors our life? So you find, so we try to promote those values where children, especially in this society, are given a voice. Because most children will be like, oh, shut up, keep quiet. You know, you're not allowed to talk. Penny kasa, men kasa. Yedin eti. Meanwhile, he or she has something really important that they could share, that even us as adults could learn from. So this was really what we sought to do. And so I'm glad. I hope it worked. But that is what we sought to do.
I think it did work. It worked. That was why when we went on break, we were not so happy about it. And we are happy now that Next Generation is back.
Yes.
I think I saw some snippets of what's happening with Next Generation. Are we able to take a look at that? John? Okay, so for people who have not really, or maybe they may have lost track of the story, okay, let's take a look at what's happening with Next Generation right now. Who are these people?
Okay, so with Next Generation, the Essiens are the main family now. The Essien, which is Pastor Essien and his wife, that is Sylvia, that they are related to Ramabru. Okay. So that's Rama's cousin, the gentleman there, Pastor Essien. So we've moved the story away from the main family, which was Kojo, should I say Enoch, Rama, and the children, because it got to a point they were infirm, and dragging them onto a set every day was impossible.
And they've all grown up. Even Nina got married recently.
She's got married recently, but she's still in the show.
Okay.
You know, you find Nina is in there, even Junior is in there in some capacity. We've got Gaida in there. We've got Rama, even Kojo. May his soul rest in peace. It's in this series because we got to shoot a few episodes before he became really ill and passed. So that is the story. So basically, we've just shifted the core, or shall I say the original family, is still right behind them in the background. So we'll be featuring them every now and then. But right now it's about Pastor Essien, his wife Sylvia, and their 4 kids.
Okay. Yes, and this Pastor Essien seems to have somebody who is crashing on him.
Yes. Yes.
There's the lady.
He doesn't seem to realize that either that or he's enjoying it. So he you know, he's just going along with it. But again, it's the same sort of values that we want to put into the next generation. So you find that it's the same kind of setting, the same kind of atmosphere with the kids. Because in episode 1, we had Papa talking to his mom, saying that his dad was a hypocrite. You know, because, and this is what we try to do. We want to give children a voice, not irresponsibly. Let them make their point, listen to what they've got to say, assess it. Are they being truthful? So you find that at the end, Sylvia was like, oh, but I mean, what he's saying is true, is it not? You know, so this is what we try to push, because by pushing that, we get our viewers to look at issues critically and see whether indeed, if there is a point, we're not trying to influence anybody, but we want to show people the other side of how, you know, one could live or one could raise a family.
All right, so we'll go for a quick commercial break. When we return, we'll be opening the phone lines very soon. It's going to be opened, you know, a little bit earlier than usual, okay? So we'll prompt you as to when we open it, but do not go away. And you're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. If you just joined us, well, we are talking Home Sweet Home Next Generation. And Julia has explained that the whole intent of the show is to be able to get the family to have one show that they can watch without winking and say, okay, this is the scene where we don't want our children to be watching, you know. No, this is really open to everyone to be part of and to enjoy. And we looked at what used to be, what the critics used to say when Home Sweet Home started, felt like, oh, this is out of touch with Ghana. It's not our culture and all of that. But as time went on, they got to understand what the story was about. They felt some of the children were rude, or the wife was not talking to the husband the way she was supposed to talk, and all of that. But the thing is, we see it in our families, but we just don't want to accept that it's happening. We find women who talk the way they want to talk. They are free, and their husbands are very okay with it. So over the time, people started understanding the whole intent of the show. So with Next Generation, we do not want you to be averse towards it. We want you to be able to also give it the same chance and opportunity you gave to Home Sweet Home in the beginning, okay, so that you understand it. The story now is around a pastor and his wife, and they are also related to Roma Brew and Kojo. They are, and they're all in the background also supporting the cast, the new cast. So don't say, okay, this is entirely new, I don't think I want to watch it. We want you to watch it, enjoy it with your kids, enjoy it with your wife, and enjoy it with the entire family. So before we went on the break, I said we're going to open the phone lines. We're going to prompt you. So please be close to your phones, okay? We would open it and I'll prompt you when we do that. However, I'd like to find out from Julia, how is acceptance like for, Next Generation? Is it warming up or?
Yes, definitely. People are really excited because we did a lot of social media and they were so expectant. We kept moving the date back and people were like, oh, when is it going to come? When is it going to come? So we know that it's the same. In fact, the fever is even more.
The fever is more?
Yeah, it's more.
Okay.
People are, because they've been waiting for it for so long that finally it's come to get to see the original cast grown up.
All grown up.
They want to see what they look like now and what they're doing. So it's wonderful. It's
That's
wonderful.
Nice.
Yeah.
So as a woman and a producer,
yes.
two in one, okay? Because you mentioned that, it all started with you and your husband having to watch a show in the UK, and you loved the content and you felt like you could replicate something here in Ghana. So you're a woman, you have that heart and you have that interest with, the upbringing of the children that will be the future of the country. And also as a producer who has a lot of power to influence what the content looks like. What are the challenges or the stories you would like to share, in the course of this production?
The challenges, they vary on different levels because you often have that picture of what you want to see. So the challenge is getting that actor or actress, to perform it the way you want it to be performed. Because it's one thing having in your mind what you want to see, it's how to get it, with your locations, with the actors, with the technical crew, with even the budget that you have. Because here in Ghana, creating content means you're going to find money, unlike in other countries where you can go to, some film fund to collect some money to create something. Over here, it's, okay, you want to produce? Okay, go ahead. How are you going to do it? So for me, the main challenge has been the financing of projects, because I can sit here and tell you, I can mention maybe 200 titles for you now, that if I had money now, I could produce. 200 different shows, different genres, appealing to different audiences. But it boils down to money, So that for me has been the major challenge, where you're thinking, oh, I would have loved to produce a show like this or like that. But then the financing, because you need to find the money, you need to market it, you need to be able to make the money back to make it a sustainable business. So the financing, for me, is number one. Number two would be getting the talent that you need to bring that vision to life, which is why we wanted to go into training ourselves, because what we do is very specialist. Even when you've been to film school, you need to be on the ground to actually learn that you're going to be on set for long hours. There's so much to coordinate on a set that is so specialist that it's long nights, it's long days and nights. It's a lot of details, intricate details. If you want to do it properly, continuity for one. You cannot miss something. We're on set today, for instance. We took a shot of this lady driving. We finished shooting, realized that she had a band that was not there before. We had to reshoot the scenes. You see, so other producers possibly would not be bothered. But for me,
overlook it. I mean, we can't go back again.
Yeah, but if you're like me, who wants excellent work, it's a lot of work. It's specialist. You need great talent. You need people who are patient enough. If you're not patient, you can't be on TV because there's so many elements that you are up against, especially here in Africa. The lights could go off, the ties could go off, the genset is not working. Oh, somebody is stuck in traffic. You know, so there's so many different things that you're juggling at every point in time that it makes it. I don't regret going into it because for me, I've always loved to transform anything that is given to me, and this is my way of picking the script. I just love it from the script level to what I see on screen. That for me gives me all the satisfaction. So yeah, very, very, very much worth it. Every single minute of it. As challenging as it is. As challenging as it is.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It
Because
makes me
I'm just
happy.
wondering, sometimes you have to work with some, members of cast that maybe are experienced or they see themselves as like they know what they're about. You know, they've got their ego.
Yes. I'll give you an
maybe
example.
It's a man and you are a woman.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So you can't tell me what you're supposed to do.
Definitely.
How do you handle things like
yes.
that?
Because as a producer, you call the shots. You decide who gets paid what. But they turn up on the set and they see the director. Oh, I'm going to see director about my money. And I'm like, director has got nothing to do with how much you paid. It's me. You know, so it took a while for people to come around because you find that there's not many women producers. In Ghana, we don't have many women producers. It's all very male dominated. So there's all sorts of challenges. And with the cast, there are people that you pick up from the street, you turn them into a star. The next time you call them, they tell you, oh, so say they may charge $.
You talk to my manager.
Talk to my manager.
Then talk to my manager part. Oh my God.
It used to
when
annoy
I
me.
picked you up, I came directly to you. Today, I should talk to your manager.
You know.
Okay.
And before it used to get to me, but now I just laugh because you can just see that you're not going to amount to much like this. You're not going to get far because it doesn't work that way. Anybody can be picked up and be turned into a star if you have enough screen time. You will become a star over time. You know, so long as you've got the talent, that's it. So yeah, those challenges. But then over time, with experience, you learn how to, control things like that.
Great.
Yeah.
So what would you say to the stakeholders? So for instance, the government, what can they do to be able to help us keep content alive that will keep the families together, keep our societal and family values together, and even to the producers themselves concerning the kind of content they put out there?
I think it starts with policies. If we have policies that will protect our industry in the sense that in terms of content that is allowed on our, on our TV stations, because if there's no limits, and for instance, in some countries, it's got to be 70% local content, whereas over here, there's nothing like that. So it starts with that. Policies to protect the industry. That's one thing, because as a business person, if it's cheaper to get foreign content, why should he spend money producing local content? You see, so it's only through policy making that we can ensure that
and enforcing it. Because
yes.
sometimes I get to hear it's been said, oh, we need to do more local and all of that, but it doesn't feel like it's been enforced.
No, at all. So everybody is allowed free reign. You can bring in Mexican, whatever it is that you want to show, so long as it works for your station. Nobody's got no qualms. So that for me is key. Also, financing. In a way, if even not financing, giving you money, create the outlets. We don't have many cinemas. Assuming you wanted to even produce a movie every month, you should be able to show it in every corner of the country, to make your money back. So how many cinemas do we have? Silverbird.
Yeah,
that's the only.
Yeah.
That's the only one we have. You know.
And now we have the AMA one in Accra Central.
So even if you had a product, where would you go to show it? You see?
And it's like just here in Accra, Global Cinemas, Silverbird, and then the AMA one, and that's it. So if you go to other parts of the country, people always, do the films, they premiere it in hotels, which is not really good for the experience, the movie experience.
No, people, like in the West, anybody should be able to walk into a cinema, to watch a movie. Hotels, some people would not even go into a hotel if they had to watch a movie. It would be like, oh, that's not for me. But whereas if there was a community cinema, they would, be attracted to go in there to watch a film or two or plan their day, because over here it's created as though it's an event. You want it to be the norm that there's always something showing in the cinemas. So it's like, oh, this weekend, what's showing in the cinemas this weekend? Whereas in the hotels, it's like, oh, there's an event coming, there's a movie being premiered. So it's not like the norm, so people are not able to plan, you know, to go to the cinema to watch anything. So if we don't have the outlets, even if you had the product, where are you going to exhibit? So distribution is a major problem for our industry.
Okay, so let's talk to producers about their content. What are they producing? I mean, is this something that we also want to consume? Or maybe some of them are not going into the family side anymore because they feel that, well, it's not selling. Having some girls, hot girls, do stuff on TV is selling, so let's move that way.
Yeah, well, again, that's where policies come in. You know, so if you have a policy where you should have a certain percentage of family viewing, if it's a certain adult, nothing before 10 p.m., you know, things like that. So it's again policy. If you make it strict and, as you're saying, enforce it, that you have to have a certain percentage to be licensed, or for you to renew your license every year. You know, we check the kind of content that you're showing, and so it's a lot of things. You see that some of the producers are not creating family, you know.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because you have to raise the money to create the content. Typically, you have to raise money to buy airtime.
Okay.
Do you see? So the content production budget, then you're looking at buying airtime. By the time you've done that, you're in the minus of how many thousands? And then that is when you try to sell it. So you're producing your own thing, you're buying your own platform, you know, where to show the content. You're going to look for your own advertisers to help you to make the money back. You see, so it's a tall order. It's a tall order, so there needs to be some support. You know, if even it's interest-free loans or some lines of credit, or because for me, a country without entertainment, it's just, you know,
it will be boring.
No, you need to be able to go home on a Friday and look forward to what is on your screen, to relax and be ready to go back come Monday morning. Refreshed. You know, it's as though we don't realize the importance of a good laugh. Or, you know, if we're talking about even children and how they are being brought up. I mean, look at society now and how wayward people are. And it's all because what is on the media is not teaching any values. There's no values being impacted into our viewers. It's all the fickle things about who's got the biggest phone and who's got the biggest car and who's got the biggest padded bum.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Advancements and everything. So
can you imagine?
Yeah, that's true.
You know, who's got the whitest teeth? You know, who's got the most expensive wig?
So it's all about the outward
appearance. What about the inward? And so you employ them, and they come and strut around for like a day or two, and they're like, me, I can't do this work. Oh.
We'll go for our final commercial break. When we return, we definitely will open the lines. Do not go away. You're welcome back to ETV Ghana's African Women's Voices show. Let me just go to the comment section and just pick a few of us and acknowledge you. Nana Boy says, good evening. Mary Asabia Ishen says, I'm watching. And then she goes again and says, go Jules. I see Esther Apia Boateng. She says, great. And I'm seeing a lot of you sending me waves from all across Ghana and also in Africa and beyond. And as usual, I'd like to acknowledge you. I see waves coming from the United Kingdom, from the United States, from China, Japan, from, okay, this says Cairo in Egypt. You're watching us from Cairo. Thank you so much for sending in your wave. I see also Mauritius. I see a wave from Ouagadougou, Burkina Faso. You're watching us. Hey, we are speaking English. I hope you're getting us right. Don't worry, very soon we'll be doing some French translations for you. Thank you for checking in. From Togo, from Lomé, from Cameroon. Thank you so much. We see your wave. From Dakar, we see your wave as well. Casablanca is also waving. Thank you so much. And coming down to Ghana, I see a lot of waves from Salt Pond, from Axim, from Hafasini, from Tumu, from Zabzugu, Tamale. I see from Lubatota, I see another wave. He says, I am in Alavanyo Okay, and you're sending me your wave. Thank you so much. I see waves from Accra, and I see from Sunyani as well. A lot of you are sending your waves. Thank you. We are happy that you're watching us from all over, and we want you to keep watching ETV Ghana and also to watch Home Sweet Home. It shows on Sundays at 8 p.m. on ETV Ghana, so please do not miss it. I said I'll open the phone line. Let's see who is able to get through to talk to Julia about her content, okay, before we wrap up. So, John, is the phone line open now? The number is 0555-657278, 0555-657278. All right. So, okay, I see Fabiola Osei there. She says, we are watching from England. Oh, Fabiola, thank you so much. I see Victoria. She says, happy to see Mrs. Apia. And Victoria comes back again and says, looking good, Jules. All right. Okay.
Thank you.
She says, thank you. I hope you're all seeing her. All right. I see the messages are just dropping. Thank you. So beautiful. And I'll also like us to know that Julia, who is a content creator, is very passionate about what kind of content is put out there. And she's given us a lot of insight around the kind of production that has to take place, because even before we went on the break, I was telling her that I realized that sometimes when we are putting together content for our local shows, we always make it look like we are trying to see who is better at insulting the other. So people sit down and begin to think of what insulting word or expression or phrase they're going to use so that it becomes a trending insult. So this kind of production.
No, I mean, I've always said, why, if it's local doesn't mean that it has to be trashy. You know, like we were talking before. I would want to be on a local production, dressed like this, living in a tricycle house, you know, not a word of English. All I do is speak Tree.
Yeah, because we've got a lot of local people who are living good.
Yes, indeed. So you see, I think one thing is we also need to be comfortable with ourselves. You know, you find that even in most of the acting, people want to be people that they are not. Okay. Be yourself, you know, be the Ghanaian that you are, you know, and you will be accepted. You know, that's also the one thing. People try to be or have, you know, values that are not really present here. It's like when you look at the, for example, some of these, they call them the glamour movies. You know, it's like we're adopting all sorts of cultures into our movies. That is not us.
Which is so wrong.
It is not us, you know. So, one, we need to be comfortable in ourselves and portray ourselves as, you know, being fulfilled in what we do. Production values should be high. It doesn't matter whether it's a local production, English, whatever language it is. Make sure your production values are high. You're choosing that home. Choose that home that is nicely decorated. Choose a costume that looks good. Choose the actor that, you know, can give you what you're looking for.
The role.
Exactly. You know, so it's about the production values, you know. It's like, it's local, so anything goes. And so that is why most of them are not comfortable in being identified as the Ghanaian that they are. They feel that they've got to be somebody else, or they have to have that slang, or they have to have that, you know, different attitude. But that's not Ghanaian. You know, we need to portray our own values. You know, how many times have you even watched a movie that they are pounding fufu for somebody to eat? You know, it's always the fried rice on the plate, the chips. Why? Meanwhile, we're eating kenke. How many times have you seen kenke and fish on a plate? You know, you don't see it.
And even during marriage ceremonies on our shows, we do not see the Ghanaian attire. We see people actually wearing things from other countries.
Meanwhile, look at how beautiful our kente and all the other cloths and the beading, you know.
And the wood that's so war.
But you know what? I think it's going to change. You see, I think Ghana is now at the point where we are finally comfortable with who we are. You know, we're comfortable with, you know, like everybody likes to do the kente thing these days when they're getting married. You know, you see all the traditional stuff with the kente and, you know, which is beautiful. So I think we are getting there. We are getting there. We are getting there.
Julia, how I would love for this conversation to continue. I see so much that it's like the phone lines are jammed, but I've gotten some comments here which says, we love Home Sweet Home Next Generation. So we are looking forward to watching it at 8 o'clock on ETV Ghana. Go ETV Ghana. Thank you so much. And I'm also seeing, he says, I am Mr. Asari. And I heard about Home Sweet Home on ETV Ghana for the first time, and I've always watched it and loved
wonderful.
it. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Asari. Thank you. All right, so Julia is actually the producer of Home Sweet Home, the former one, and even this one. So we don't want you to miss it. 8 p.m. on Sunday is family time. Tell other people that whenever they want family content, they should just wait. ETV Ghana, 8 p.m., they'll get something to watch, all right? So the repeat broadcast of this show is going to come to you on Saturday at 12 noon, all right? And then we streamed on Facebook. So if you missed some part, please go on our Facebook page at ETV Ghana, and then you get to watch it again. You can also go on my page at Eunice Tony. You'll find it there, okay? You could also go and check for Revel Films. They also stream it as well. Yes. And then you get to see what Julia shared with us today. We'll also upload it on YouTube tomorrow. So we've got a lot of opportunities for you to be able to watch it over and over and over again. Julia will definitely come back to grace our stage again, our studios, right?
Definitely.
We look forward to it. So those of you who couldn't get through, I'm sorry. Next time when she comes, okay, try and, force your way through. All right. So until we meet again, do enjoy the rest of our interesting lineup for you. Bye-bye.